In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys the best investments from the current team of the week and when to go and pick them up. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch. For the cheapest premium trading service for just £4, €4, or free with Amazon Prime. You'll get yourself daily trading and investing guides covering both Xbox and PlayStation with an array of different techniques depending on your budget. I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million on multiple titles, and recently making over 10 million in the first month for the last 3 years. In today's video, what we're going to do is we are going to be talking about the current team of the week, the best players to invest in, why they're good to invest in, previous trends we've learned from, I guess, other team of the weeks, and most importantly, when to go and pick the players up. So what I think we'll start off with is when to go and pick the players up. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to look at last year's trends. Now, the reason we look at last year's trends is because obviously this is the first weekend where we're getting weekly rewards as team of the weeks. If you guys don't know, if you guys do get 9 or above wins, you are going to guarantee yourself a nice team of the week pack. Now, in said team of the week pack, obviously you're going to pack team of the weeks. And this is the problem with using last week, is obviously we didn't have team of the week packs. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the likes of last year's data. We got ourselves Foden, we got ourselves Son, we got ourselves Suarez, and sadly not really too many other players. But luckily they all follow the exact same trend, so we can just presume that next year will follow said trend. Also, it kind of follows this week's trend. So we start off here with Foden, probably the most interesting player, who was released on the Wednesday at 184, then dropped to 128, then dropped to 97, then dropped to 88, and then on the Sunday was the cheapest at 71. He then banged in price because I think we had the road to the final Bernardo Silva and went from 71k to 107k in a few days. So not too bad, bottoming out on Sunday. But maybe he was the cheapest on Sunday because of the Bernardo Silva. Well, Heung-min Son says otherwise. So Heung-min Son was 182, then 607, then 515 on the Saturday, then 505 on the Sunday, then rebounding the following day 15k to 520, and then picking up to 575 by the Wednesday. And then finally we end up with Suarez's trend, which again dropped and dropped and dropped. On the Friday, 43k, on the Saturday, 32k, on the Sunday, 32k, and then rebounded. But he's a little bit more SBC fodder, so you'd expect less of a rise. Now, I did go and check some of the future team weeks, because obviously there are only kind of 3 meta players from the equivalent of last year's team of the year. And yeah, a lot of them with the cheaps on the Sunday and Monday, so we're going to look to buy the players on the Sunday. So, what players are we going to look at buying is the question. And the first player I quite like is actually the Bronze in Form. Now, weirdly enough, I can't actually go and find the Bronze in Form without typing his name in, so let me go and put his name in right now. Now, the reason I think this guy is a very nice investment is because you'll see that this year, a lot of the requirements are, we want a minimum of this, a minimum of that, and we're happy. And I do believe that some of the SBCs are going to want 1 in form and next to no rating. Well, this in form has a minimum by now, if I can switch to it, of 1.5k. And I can heavily expect that this in form will go under the radar this weekend and generally can probably end up about 2-3k. So what I think would be a great play is if this guy manages to generally go to about 2-3k to go and pick him up. Because again, if there's an SBC that's 81 rated needing an inform, 82 rated needing an inform, 83 rated needing an inform, because the 81s, 82s and 83s are so cheap, you can literally just go and use a bronze inform and then carry it with like ratings slightly above. Again, let's say it's an 81 rated team needing an inform, maybe it's a cheap component of an SBC, maybe it's a meh sort of POTM. Well, then I can see this guy being used, and I say we are still early days, and I think he's down at like 5k. If this guy can get down to about 2-3k, I generally think he's a great investment because all you need is 1 in form and a low-rated team. This card doubles in price. Don't think he's used for any objectives though. Obviously, I don't think there's any weekend demand by surprise. But a really nice investment if we can go and see ourselves a 2-3k in form. So the next player we'd look at buying on the likes of Sunday would be the likes of Trossard. Now the nice thing about Trossard is his utility. Now obviously as a left wing, this guy does not look amazing, but thanks to the lords of this current FIFA, you can play him as a left wing, left mid cam and striker. That is many a position he can get hyped up in. And yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Now sadly, obviously doesn't have the new lengthy hype, but again, due to his position utility, I do not think he'd be too bad to pick up on Sunday. All Prem players normally get hype. I mean, you look at the likes of Diego Dalot, you look at, what else? I think cards like even like Ericsson, you don't really need much in the Prem to get hype because the league itself is going to carry your price. Now heading on to the likes of Soloff, not too bad. Once again, a player I think you should be able to get near discard. Probably looking at the likes of 12-13k for the likes of Soloff. But yeah, the best thing about this guy is he is the whole lengthy hype. Obviously sitting in the La Liga, a relatively demanded league. Not too easy in terms of clubs and not clubs and nation links. Obviously you got Haaland, but I doubt if you got Haaland you'll be forking out a Soloff. Once again, very easy play to probably get hyped up by YouTubers, people on Twitter and in between. So again, you'd be looking for about 12, 13k. Next investment I quite like is the likes of Kevin Trapp. Kevin Trapp is got Icon SBCs written all over him. Maybe even a bit of demand, because I think this year every Bundesliga SBC fodder decided to absolutely crash, and now there's barely any high rated. Well, the likes of Trapp looks pretty decent, and if we actually have a look at last week's trend, there's a very strange trend with Szczesny, and that was that Szczesny all of a sudden decided to go, I don't enjoy being 21k, let me go and be 30k. Was it yesterday? It was 30k. Yesterday, it went up to 30k. If Trapp can go down to about 21k, he is a stunning investment. An Icon SBC gets leaked, he'll go up. A great, any good SBCs that need an inform, he'll go up. Maybe even any good SBC that gets leaked, he'll go up. At the moment, we don't have that much high-rated fodder. We do have Trapp and we do have Szczesny, and that's about it. I don't think Milinkovic-Savic from this week becomes fodder. But yeah, down to 21k would be pretty good for Trapp, and his utility is not too bad in terms of being used in people's teams. So, of the likes of Trapp, where are we going to go? Now, you've got the likes of Smalling, don't think there's any demand. Got the likes of DeMarcos. In this year's FIFA, no demand. Previous years, there probably would be. We then get to the likes of Klaus. Now, the reason Klaus is quite nice is because he links up, obviously, with the current Duo players. Those Duo players aren't the best in the world, but both of them being from relatively made-up nations of Colombia and, Dominican Republic of Congo. Not the easiest cards to get linked in. Klaus also, obviously, just offering the French Ligue 1 link, which is a really, really OP link. Part Premier League informs for that. So, yeah, I'll be honest with you, unless Madison's sitting down about 12, 13k, I do not recommend picking up, and I do see him as nothing more than SBC fodder, especially with absolutely awful position changes. So they get to Milinkovic-Savic, who has the lengthy hype around him. In reality, this year, it seems that pace is not a stat you should prioritise over other stats. And, yeah, I mean, if other stats are relevant other than pace, this may be the year of the Unlinkovic-Savic. But, yeah, there's the likes of Savic. Once again, wouldn't be too bad. We'll easily get a lengthy hype around him. Might even get picked up and decent reviews, maybe by pros or whatever, because I do know that some decent players do already like the likes of his gold card, so it should be interesting to see how his inform card is taken. Coming in, we're potentially getting lengthy. I do think he'll be a good buy on Sunday, but I'd imagine by Sunday this guy's probably down at about 200k. But yeah, I'd say a little bit expensive to be mass purchased by people's weekend league, but we do have another Vinicius Jr. on our hands in a card that's going to stick in people's teams, especially bearing in mind he's following this new meta, and his gold card, default gold card, does not go and follow this meta. Going to another player who's extinct right now, and that is the likes of Ben Yedder. Very notorious player, French, very easily going to make in people's teams, and yeah, we do have the likes of Ben Yedder as another one of the investments that would look pretty decent. On top of that, he's about 120 to 150, which is the prime range of how many coins people get for weekend league. Normally what people do is they spend all their weekend league play coins on one player, so Ben Yedder would be perfect to go and fit that. And then we finally move to the likes of Haaland. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Haaland is necessarily going to have a great return on investment, because I imagine it'd be like a 1 million coin card. And a 1 million coin card doesn't double as easy as a 50, 60, 70k card does double. So I don't think the likes of Haaland would be great. But if you're looking to buy Haaland, when should you buy him? Now, there's not that much you can work with here. But Thomas Partey last year was in the exact same position as Haaland. He had a one-to-watch card, and then he had an inform card in the exact same week. This meant that Partey was also only in packs from Friday, and what you'll be able to see right here is he was only in packs from Friday. He ended up being the cheapest on Monday. Now, obviously, Partey will probably be like 1/10 the price of Haaland, so there is room for this to change, but that is the trend with Partey. So if you do want to buy a Haaland, I think I'd be waiting to buy his inform over on the Monday. Now, if he actually holds his price, will probably depend on the sort of players we're getting the road to the knockout stage next week. There's some disgusting cards leaked at the moment. So, if the hype holds around Haaland, who knows? I do imagine he'll rise as of the Monday. And if you did want to use him in your team and probably make a bit of profit, you could buy on the Monday and then probably go and sell the following Saturday, Sunday, Monday after people have got more coins from the following weekend. But that is all she wrote. Hopefully it's going to help you guys out knowing what to invest in. Once again, if you want cheap stuff, you've got the likes of Chiesa, Danzo, Trossard and Soloff. Fodder, we're looking at the likes of Trapp and Madison. And then when it comes to demanded players in the team, we've got Werner, Savic, Klaus, Rafael, Haaland, Ben Yedder, and then Haaland, obviously, you can go and buy on the Monday. Don't personally rate Musiala. 101 by Munich Centimeters. That, again, I think I'm probably more demanded than Musiala. He's obviously just got young hype around him. He'll get a great future star, I'm sure. But Call that a day. Thanks for watching, and see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.